Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in. Today I'm here with a great friend of mine, actually Sonia, and along with David. So when we started Noble Institute, even before it came into inception, Sonia was one of the persons who supported me for a long time in taking that initiative, in making sure that I actually take it upon. And she was always there behind the scenes to support, and I really appreciate that. First of all, Sonia, it's been almost a year since we took that step, and now in the last 6 to 8 months, we have taken measurable initiatives with outcomes to be able to support domestic businesses, to support the youth in Canada, to reach out to communities across Canada, including in BC and Alberta, and find out if there's business opportunities we can relate back to the lower mainland too. So today I am at Sonia's office and along with David. And the first question that I want to start this discussion with is, Sonia, obviously you understand the economic scene of BC and Alberta and Canada, especially in terms of business. What type of support do you think businesses in Canada currently need based on the current economy? And how does global business brokers or Sonia and David can provide that support that these businesses are looking for? For example, we have youth unemployment. We have generally unemployment. We also have business capital leaving VC, right? We also have other aspects leaving to other provinces. So, from a business standpoint, from someone who is talking to business owners on a daily basis, what types of gaps or struggles I would say you're seeing in the businesses in the Canadian market, in the BC market, and how can we support them? Is my question to you.
Well, it's a great question, Sharuk. Thank you, and congratulations on Noble Institute. Very proud of what you've
Thank you.
accomplished. The question you've asked is actually very broad and very in depth. And I think between David and I, and as you rightly said, our decades of experience, this could be quite a lengthy conversation,
Sure.
but I will try to keep this as short as possible. Now, first of all, when we talk about what services do we offer, Global Group was formed with a vision in mind, just like Noble Institute had a
Sure.
vision. The passion for entrepreneurship and the belief in entrepreneurship is what drove me to do this. Okay. A one stop shop for people who are in small business for the support that they need. Very simple.
Right.
Now, where this initiates from is from a lot of the phone calls that come in on a daily basis. Someone wants to start their business. It could be a female who's never been in business before, but really considering doing that. It could be a family, a husband and wife, because their child got out of college and there's no jobs available
Mm.
right now. And they're looking to buy a family business so that their kids can work in the business, learn very necessary entrepreneurial skills while they do a business, better than trying to find a job that they're not going to
Sure.
find. Also, we've got people in the IT and tech industry. My first question to them when they phone me is, why are you looking for a business? And I want to know why you're looking for a
Mm.
business, because business is not necessarily for everybody.
Mm.
We like to think that it is, but many times it's not. So we need to understand what that why is. So for the IT industry, it's a very tough industry right now. Either they're on the verge of losing a job, or they're worried that they're going to lose a job, or the other major comment I'm getting is they're under so much stress and tension. And they're like, why am I doing that? I might as well take it easy. I value my peace. I value my sleep. I value my family. And I would rather do a business where I can be my own boss and control that rather than working for someone. And at the end of the day, it's just going to somebody else. These are the kind of things I hear on an everyday basis. But when we're going to go and buy a business, the last thing I'm going to do as a business broker is say, hey, I've got this, and this to sell you. That's
Mm.
the last thing I want to do.
Sure.
I need to understand, who are you? What is your nature? Can you handle being an entrepreneur? Entrepreneurship, you have to be pretty tough.
Right.
There could be long hours in that business that you're looking at. If you're looking at a restaurant for the first time in your life, which David could tell us a lot more on, it's not that easy, right? There is a lot involved there. David will also, when I hand this over to him as well, talk to you about looking at the profitability of the businesses. What is that business you're going to buy? Assessing it, doing some homework into that properly, just like you would if you would buy a home and you would have an appraiser, or you would have somebody else look at it. You'd have your lawyer look at it, you'd have your accountant look at things. It's the same thing, a business advisor to help you before you make such a major decision in your life to buy that particular business. I don't even know if that person is suitable for a franchise or not. Not everybody is. Franchise or non franchise? That's one of the top questions I'm going to try and figure out. Then we'll decide what we should offer you. There is an abundance of businesses out there, whether they be franchise or non franchise in various sectors, but we have to find the right fit for you. The last thing I want is someone putting in their hard earned money and their life savings into a business for them to fall flat on their face. So we have to plan. I say business, yes, there's always risk when you do small business. I know, I've been there many a time, but it should be a calculated risk. And if you do a calculated risk, I think we're on a good footing.
Mm.
Now, before I hand it off to David, Global Group of Companies offers a bunch of services. Okay, so we work with domestic buyers, we work with international buyers, we work with brands internationally who want to come to Canada. We have HR and recruiting teams. If you're buying a business and you need policies and guidance on that, we have that segment as well. I have people who want to open incorporations across the country. We offer not only across Canada, but across the US.
All right.
When you're buying a business, lending is part of the picture. We do business plans. We can help you with that for finances. And David is impeccable at that and
Sure.
has a stellar record for that with the projections and everything that's needed. But aside from lending standpoint, what a lot of people don't realize is if you're buying a business, you should have a business plan for yourself as well. You need to know where we're going. They walk in blindsided into a business and not knowing what to do. For those who are sellers of businesses, we offer advisory services for them too. Before we go and put that business out on the market, what is the proper value of that business? Very important. Equipment, customers, all of that has to be looked at. So that evaluation process is also available to you. Accounting and bookkeeping services for small business. We offer
Right.
all of that in house.
Right.
So it is a vast range of services, literally a one stop shop for business. But I will also let David talk about his aspect of
Sure.
businesses.
Well, thanks for having me here, Sonia. Sharuk. Um, for me, I think that one of the biggest gaps in the marketplace is um, education. It's understanding of how a business actually works, right? One of the things that attracted me to the global group was the fact that it was this one-stop shop where you had all of these other platforms within this one platform to try and make the business more successful. There's so many brokerages out there that are only focused on the process of selling, and once they've sold it, they move on to the next one. They're not focused on the process of actually, is that person going to be successful? Do they have a chance of actually running a profitable business? Can I look at them 5 or 10 years from now and see them still in that same business and still being successful? And so for me, one of the things that I wanted to bring was that education piece, that understanding that, you know, do you have a plan? Do you know how to execute that plan? Do you understand what the costs of running a business are? Do you understand how to read a P&L? Do you understand, the process in getting financing? Do you understand, what it means to have a strategic growth plan? We deal with both independent businesses and franchise businesses, and they have different needs and different um, 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 topics that need to be addressed within that business. But we were talking earlier about the fact that, if you look at an independent business or a franchise, the economics work the same way. But you know, it's first teaching that owner how to get the most out of the business they have, and make that business profitable and make it, tight so that the money that's coming in is actually getting realized on the bottom line. And then teaching them to go out and then how do we grow that business. There's no sense in teaching somebody how to grow a business or growing a business that is leaking, that the profits are going out the back door, right? Same in a franchise. I deal with franchises every day where their focus is to grow, 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 and
Sure.
so they're all about adding more units and adding more territories, and just growing wherever somebody comes in across the country. And that's exciting, and it's easy to get swept up in that. But that doesn't mean that they're going to have those units 5 or 10 years from now. And so what we're trying to do is teach them how to build a more sustainable path to growth so that along the way they're not, making huge mistakes that are going to cost them down the road, and that they're leaving, when they open a franchise and they get somebody going, they're setting that person up to be successful, and they can move on and then go and do it again and go and do it again. And we're not getting in a situation where they open 50 locations and then 5 years from now nobody knows who they are because they're gone, right? That happens so often in today's environment. I mean, if COVID taught us anything, it was that what you have today can be gone tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
And so we're really trying to build um, sustainability in business, right? People are investing their hard-earned money into businesses, and whether it's somebody opening, a small business, that's something that they've dreamed of for a while and they want to do that, or somebody buying into a franchise, they're still investing money into this business, and often it's represents their life savings, and so I've always sort of felt that you know franchisors or people who are helping people in these businesses have a moral responsibility to make sure that these people actually understand what they're doing, right? And so that's really, I think, in a nutshell, what we do. We're trying to provide that basis of education, and I say education because I really don't like the term consulting.
Sure.
And um, because we really want to teach people how to do it themselves, right? They don't want to be, a consultant where, the success of their business is tied to me doing it for them for the next 10 years. Like we're not getting anywhere, right? We want to teach them how to do it themselves so that they can become sustainable and run their own business and and be there. And then, if they need help growing their business or marketing or buying another location or selling their business down the road, we're there to help them with that infrastructure as well.
That's awesome. So, I mean, as you guys, understood that, when you're running a business, as some of you might be that are watching or planning to run a business, you need guidance, you need mentorship, and sometimes you need a holistic level of services. For example, global business brokerage is able to offer accounting, provide guidance in franchising, provide guidance in expansion, and optimizing revenue, right? As you alluded to as well. Profit leaking or leaking of profit, right? You might already be running a business that is earning revenue. However, it's being expensed into something that should not be expensed, meaning it can be profitability for you. What you need though is guidance. And that's why, we've come together, and I'm really honored to have both of you guys on the team. Sonia, especially starting with you coming on and supporting from the day one Noble Institute's initiative to support small businesses across Canada to help them have uh, partnerships and guidance and mentorship through established business entrepreneurs, quite frankly, who have been there, done that. And, from my experience of being an entrepreneur for not too long, is that you need support, you need mentorship.
Yeah.
For a lot of the times in business, what I have learned is you have to pivot. You might have a product which you might think you believe in and it's going well, but the market is not saying so. And at that point, you need to pivot. However, you might get attached to that product emotionally, mentally, whatever, and you're not willing to listen to the market. At that point, you need a mentor. At that point, you need to have that person or that organization that you can reach out to and say, hey, this is the struggle I'm having. And you also need to have an open mind to listen to them.
Yeah.
So,
And I think that's a really good point. I think that, you know, um, often people get emotionally attached to their businesses. And what a mentor or an outside point of view does is that they can look at it as a business and be able to provide input onto, there's nothing structurally wrong with your business, but maybe you just need to make this one pivot or
right.
make this one change or attack it from a different point of view. So that, because when you're inside and in the middle of it, you really tend to lose focus on those things.
Absolutely.
And that one little tweak, that one little different point of view that a mentor can bring, could be the difference between you running a successful business that's profitable and you losing your business.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's it. So Once again, guys, thank you for your support. We look forward to working with global business brokers to be able to help local domestic entrepreneurs in Canada. And we'll continue to make insightful videos like this so people can get some added value in the videos they watch. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Take care and bye for now. All right, that was good.